This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Introduction. Medical terminology can be described as a language used by medical professionals in the course of their work. It refers to terms used to define the human body. Medical terminology is widely used in the medical profession. In most cases, medical terminology uses words created using prefixes and suffixes in Latin and Ancient Greek. In medicine, the meaning and the etymology are informed by the source or the language of origin. The method is completely dissimilar to Standard English. In this case, the root of the word can be independent in a sentence. For instance, the word nose is a word root in English that can be used without being modified. Medical terminology for all healthcare workers. Medical terminology is a prerequisite for all healthcare workers. It is the jargon of the healthcare industry. The healthcare workers need it because the appropriate or accurate terminology affects or instrument quality patient care and fewer or no errors. Healthcare workers should know that medical terminology is medicine's language and prolongs care for patients. Medical terminology makes it easier for healthcare providers to describe the patient's conditions accurately. In this case, by sharing precise medical language, they can share accurate information without much waste of time. Medical terminology is the universal language of medicine. Thus, it facilitates the movement of patients from one medical institution to another without a lapse in care. This works efficiently when the medical information is correctly coded. Medical terminology helps healthcare professionals to communicate effectively while handling patients. Medical terminology helps health workers to understand words and their meanings, hence helping them to identify the locations of critical organs and functions of the body. The importance of medical terminology to support staff. The medical support staff includes office, clerical, and custodial staff. The support staff too requires to be conversant with the medical terminologies. In this case, without this knowledge, they may end up losing their career. After being employed in healthcare organizations, they are trained under medical support programs that prepare them to work in medical offices. In many cases, they collect patients' notes and make sure that the patient's important records go to the required or correct healthcare professional. It eases their work when they use medical terminologies. For instance, one can effectively put down something before checking the spelling later. In this case, the medical terminologies become effective as a medical officer can quickly write down what is said by the patient. In this case, clerks or office administrators may write NPO instead of nothing by mouth, DX instead of diagnosis, and STD instead of sexually transmitted diseases. Consequently, the terminology is critical in cases where patients talk a lot. Therefore, using the terminology, they can capture what is being said. The support staff is part of the health services frontline staff and hence cannot be excluded from using the medical terminology. Conclusion. Any person working in any medical field requires the use of medical terminology while communicating. In the medical field, there can be no excuse for not knowing medical terminologies. All people involved in the medical profession and curious patients should be conversant with medical terminologies to be efficient. Medical terminologies clear all doubts and confusions in the medical field, which is characterized by healthcare providers, support staff, and patients. Did you like the concept of medical terminology sample? To get more works like this one, make sure to check out the database of academic paper examples at ivypanda.com. You will find thousands of samples for all your study needs.